Good morning everyone and welcome to the class. We are doing the chapter Civilizing the Native, Educating the Nation. And under this chapter we have discussed about the Orientalist who gave importance to the Oriental culture and civilization and literature and language, everything. But we see that by 1830s the attack on Orientalist became very sharp, and now there were people in the East India Company, there were officials in the East India Company who started to uh, criticize the Orientalist, who started to criticize the ancient Indian text. And these two names are very important. The first is the James Mill, and the second is Lord Macaulay, Lord Babington Macaulay. So these, because of these criticism of Orientalism, what happened that now it was established that in India the education system should be based on the Western style. There is no need to make a place in the heart of the people of India. There is no need to revive the cultural heritage of India. There is no need of studying, there is no utility of studying the ancient Indian text, ancient Indian religious and legal text. These are useless. Now these are established, and accordingly it was decided that in India the medium of instruction in the higher studies should be English, and the people of India should be made aware of the English literature. Only by knowing the language, only by knowing the English language, they will be able to understand the English literature, and when they will understand English literature, they will become aware of so many things. So it is very much important for them to understand English language and literature, and accordingly everything was decided. And as we have seen in the previous class, this English Education Act of 1835 was introduced, and accordingly this Oriental institutions were stopped. The promotion of Oriental institutions like Calcutta Madrasa and Benares Sanskrit College, everything was stopped, and now English textbooks now began to be produced for schools in India. And in this regard we have also discussed about Wood's dispatch. In 1854 the Court of Directors of East India Company sent an educational dispatch to the Governor General in India. This educational dispatch was issued by Charles Wood, who was the president of the Board of Control of the East India Company, and that is why this educational dispatch is also known as Wood's dispatch. And in this Wood's dispatch there was outline of the education policy in India that was to be followed by the British, है ना. ब्रिटिश को इंडिया में जो एजुकेशनल पॉलिसी फॉलो करनी थी उसकी आउटलाइन इसमें दी गई थी. And it was emphasized in this that there is practical benefit of European learning, and Oriental knowledge and Oriental learning has no practical benefit. So there is no utility in studying Oriental knowledge. The European learning is full of uses. So the people of India must be taught European learning. And in this regard we will also see that this Wood's dispatch also pointed out to one of the practical uses of this education policy, which was economic in nature. Because what we find that when Indians will learn Indian will become aware of the European learning, what will happen that they will recognize the advantage that flow from the expansion of trade and commerce, and they will give importance of developing the resources of the country, and they will be introduced to European way of life. Now by knowing English language and literature, they will also know the European way of life, and accordingly their taste and desires will be changed. and there will be a demand for British goods, and the Indian would begin to appreciate and buy things that are produced in Europe. So that was the purpose, है ना? And this is the economic, we can say economic benefit of goods dispatch, or economic aspect of goods dispatch. It was not only educational policy, it was also connected with the economy of the British, because industrial revolution was there in Britain, and mass production was going on, large scale production was going on in the required market. And this goods dispatch, through this goods dispatch, the outlook of the Indians will be changed. They will become they will appreciate the European goods, they will purchase the European goods. That was the purpose, one of the purposes. And then we see that goods dispatch also argued that European learning would improve the moral character of India. ठीक है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल goods dispatch का जो एक पॉइंट है वो है इकोनॉमिक एस्पेक्ट, है ना. सेकेंड जो इसमें इसका जो एलिमेंट है इसके अंदर जो था वो ये था कि इट विल इम्प्रूव द moral character of Indians. It will improve the moral character of Indians, and they will become more truthful, they will become more honest, and thus the company will get more truthful and honest civil servants, and in this way the efficiency of the company will be improved. So that was also one of the purposes of this goods dispatch. And they were of the opinion, these people, the people who are against the Orientalists, they were of the opinion that the literature of the East was full of grey hairs, and not only this, it will also instill in people, it will not instill in people a sense of duty, it will not instill in people a sense of commitment to work. Because उनके अनुसार, according to these people, the literature of East was not providing any such material through which the moral character of the people can be improved. So if we want to improve the moral character of the people, they must be provided, they must be imparted with the European education. Okay, so these are the we can say purposes, or these are the important elements of goods dispatch. And accordingly this according to this goods dispatch, so many measures were introduced by the British education department of the government were set up to extend control over all matters regarding education. Now we can see that how the British were expanding their control. Previously they came as traders, but slowly they started to control the economy, they started to control the revenue, they become the Diwan of Bengal, the center was Bengal. ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी जो काम कर रही थी इंडिया में, उसका सेंटर बंगाल में था, तो सेंटर ट्रेड सेंटर था, है ना. दे केम फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ ट्रेड, देन they involve themselves in the politics, and thus they first gain the control of economy. They become the Diwan of Bengal, and then they started political interference, then they started territorial expansion, then they started annexation of various territories of India on the basis of various policies and doctrines, and then now they are also then they also control the forest. As you read in that chapter, Tribals, Tikus and a Vision of a Golden Age, है ना. They started to control each and every aspect of our life, each and every part of India. हर कुछ को वो कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं. तो अब वो फॉरेस्ट को भी कंट्रोल कर लिया. एंड नाउ वी आर सीइंग दैट दे आर कंट्रोलिंग द एजुकेशन सिस्टम ऑफ द कंट्री ऑल्सो, है ना. एंड जो भी एजुकेशन सिस्टम में चेंजेस लाए गए, दैट वाज अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस वुड्स डिस्पैच, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली दिस एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट जो है वो गवर्नमेंट में सेटअप किए गए, ताकि जो भी एजुकेशन से रिगार्डिंग चीज़ें हैं उन सबको कंट्रोल किया जाए. एंड स्टेप्स वर टेकन टू एस्टैब्लिश अ सिस्टम ऑफ यूनिवर्सिटी एजुकेशन. अभी तक इंडिया में यूनिवर्सिटी एजुकेशन की स्टार्टिंग मॉडर्न पीरियड में नहीं हुई थी. एंशिएंट पीरियड में अगर हम देखें तो पहली यूनिवर्सिटी हमारे ही पास थी, नालंदा विश्वविद्यालय, है ना. बट मॉडर्न पीरियड में वी वर लैकिंग यूनिवर्सिटी एजुकेशन, सो इट वाज आल्सो इंट्रोड्यूस्ड. In 1857, we see that when the revolt was going on in Meerut and Delhi, universities were being established in Calcutta, Madras, and Bombay. है ना. So this is also a major development in the education in the education system of the country. So 1857, university education was started. And university was set up in Calcutta, Madras, and Bengal. Not Bengal, Calcutta, Madras, and Bombay. Here also you will see again the same thing. These things will should also always be in your mind. Like till 1857, the British were not giving, were not they have not given any importance to Delhi. Okay, but when in the revolt of 1857, Delhi became the center of the revolt, then they realized that if they want to control India, they need to control Delhi first. So you will see that जो universities establish हुए 1857 में, वो कलकत्ता, मद्रास और बॉम्बे में establish हुए. दिल्ली का नाम वहाँ पर नहीं आता है ना. So यूनिवर्सिटी एजुकेशन स्टार्ट होता है, एंड स्कूल एजुकेशन के सिस्टम में भी चेंजेस लाए जाते हैं. बट एट द सेम टाइम वी फाइंड दैट लोकल स्कूल्स वर ऑल्सो प्रिवेलिंग एट दैट टाइम, है ना. ये तो इंग्लिश सिस्टम आया एजुकेशन का, बट ऐसा तो बात नहीं है कि इंडिया में कोई एजुकेशन सिस्टम नहीं थी. एजुकेशन सिस्टम वॉज देयर, लोकल स्कूल्स वर देयर. तो नाउ वी विल सी व्हाट हैपेंड टू लोकल स्कूल्स after this change in the education policy of the British. Everything was decided that now English should be the instruction of medium of instruction at the higher level. Complete school education should be in the control of the British. So what happened to the local schools? Okay, so there was a system of schools in India, and this system of school was quite different, as we find the report of William Adam in 1830s. This William Adam, who was a Scottish missionary, he toured and the district of Bengal and Bihar, and he was asked by the company to report on the progress of education in India. And जो एडम ने रिपोर्ट प्रोड्यूस किया, दैट इज़ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. थ्रू दैट रिपोर्ट we come to know so many things about the local schools. So the name is important for you, William Adam. Who was William Adam? He was a Scottish missionary. Okay. And he presented a report. He presented a report on the progress of education in India. Here you will find a new term, that is vernacular. Vernacular schools, vernacular languages. So this vernacular school, it means the school which is imparting education in local language. So that type of school was existing at that time, जहाँ पर कि जो भी education दिया जा रहा था, that was totally in local language. So through this report of Adam, we come to know so many facts about this vernacular schools that was there in our country. And this we can say this report is basically about Bengal and Bihar, है ना. बंगाल बिहार के ही एरिया में उन्होंने वो किया था, अपना जो इन्होंने रिपोर्ट प्रिपेयर किया. दैट रिपोर्ट was prepared on the basis of the vernacular schools which were also called Pathshalas in Bengal and Bihar. So Adam found that there were over 1 lakh Pathshalas in Bengal and Bihar. And these Pathshalas were small institutions where not more than 20 students were studying. But the total number of children who were being taught in these Pathshalas was over 20 lakh. है ना, because there was 1 lakh पाठशाला, है ना, 1 लाख पाठशाला है. And in each पाठशाला there are 20 students. So how many students are getting education in these pathshalas? It's 20 lakh students, है ना. So these institutions were actually, they were set up by wealthy people of the society, or sometimes they were also set up by the local community, and sometimes they were also started by a teacher only. The teacher, the person who wants to teach people, he established a school, है ना. इस तरह से schools जो थे वो चलता था. And the system of education was totally flexible. कुछ भी रिजिडिटी नहीं थी कि ये ऐसे ही होगा, चीज़ें ऐसी ही होंगी, बल्कि एवरीथिंग वाज फ्लेक्सिबल, है ना. लाइक यू कैन एसोसिएट, you can understand all these by associating with your school today when you are studying at present. So first of all you will see that there were no fixed fee नहीं था. फी कैसे होता था? According to the economic status of the person, the child who is studying in the school, उस बच्चे की फैमिली की जो फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन थी, that decided the amount of the fees. तो fees was not fixed कि इतना ही फीस होगा. आज के समय में at present you find that the fees is fixed for each and every person. हाँ, scholarship is also there. At present also we find that the system of scholarship is existing, but that is not something which is very usual, है ना. वहाँ पर वो यूजुअली ये होती थी कि जो भी इकोनॉमिक बैकग्राउंड जैसा है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली फीस लिया जा रहा है. सेकेंड थिंग, यू विल वंडर टू नो दैट देयर वर नो प्रिंटेड बुक्स होते ही नहीं थे, प्रिंटेड बुक्स नहीं होते थे. At present you cannot think of studying, you cannot think of a school without printed books, है ना. So that was the system which was existing at that time. No separate school building भी separate नहीं होती थी. No benches, no chairs, no blackboards, no system of separate classes, no roll call register, no annual examination, and no regular timetable. So this was the system of vernacular schools which was existing at that time in India, where everything was flexible, everything was according to the need of the students as well as according to the need of the teacher. So in the next class we will continue with this.